Well, we're here at Loma Vista Memorial Park, Fullerton, California, right in front of the mausoleum. At the Cordelia lawn, we're going to visit the grave of Walter Marvin Knott, K-N-O-T-T, who was born December 11th, 1889 in San Bernardino, California. He's famous, at least in California. He's the founder of Knott's Berry Farm Amusement Park in Buena Park. He also mass marketed the boysenberry. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. His father was a Methodist minister, and but his father died of tuberculosis in 1896. Walter was only a few years old at the time. He was 7 years old at the time. So he forged ahead. He had aspirations of being a farmer from a very young age. He ended his formal schooling at age 16. That was not unusual at that time. You know, different time, different customs. He became very, very adept at growing produce. So he rented out these vacant lots around Pomona, and he grew produce, which really helped the family's income, which was important to his mother, Cordelia. Cordelia was, a widow, and young Walter was helping her out. In 1913, at barely 24 years of age, he homesteaded 160 acres in the Mojave Desert, and in 1920 he went into partnership with one of his cousins, berry grower Jim Preston, and they came to Buena Park and farmed 20 acres, and that's where they started growing and selling the boysenberry. The boysenberry, it was their particular invention. It was a cross between the European raspberry, the European blackberry, the American dewberry, and the loganberry. And the boysenberry is really what helped make Knott's Berry Farm famous and popular. So they had this roadside stand where they were selling these berries and this produce, and it was successful. So his wife Cordelia had a brilliant idea to serve fried chicken dinners at her own private tea room, and people loved chicken dinners, and the tea room expanded into a full restaurant, and people loved it so much that they would wait in line for hours in order to eat her food. It's not something I would do. I mean, I ain't waiting in hours in line to eat. I mean, I'd rather just go to Burger King or something. But no, people, yeah, they lined up for hours, and they were intent on doing it. So then Walter Knott got the idea to build roadside attractions in order to keep the people entertained while they were waiting in line. So he purchased buildings from old ghost towns around the West and had them dismantled and reassembled it at this farm in Buena Park. And he added a ghost town over the next few years. And then he added a San Francisco cable car and a Calico mine train ride and a Timber Mountain log ride. And wow, I mean, you did a lot more than just eat the delicious chicken dinner. I mean, you got a lot of entertainment. So eventually they opened the place. In 1968, they started charging admission, and boy, the crowds didn't stop. Now, Knott's Berry Farm is located less than 10 miles from Disneyland. And Disneyland in Anaheim was the very first Disneyland. That's where Walt Disney put it, was in Anaheim. And you'd think that he and Walter Knott would have been adversaries because they were competing. They weren't. Quite to the contrary, they were good friends. Walt Disney would visit Walter Knott's farm, and people called them the two Walters. And Walt Disney took ideas from Walter Knott, and one of the ideas he had was Frontierland, which he got from Walter Knott. So he opened Frontierland in Disneyland, and yeah, and they were both on the original planning council for Children's Hospital of Orange County. So yeah, they got along great together. Let's walk to his grave. It's right here. Walter died, here he is, 1981. So he was kind of old when he died. There's Mr. Walter. And his lovely wife, Cordelia, she died a few years before he did. But these are the people that got Knott's Berry Farm going, and it turned into a theme park. People say that Knott's Berry Farm was America's original theme park. That's somewhat debatable, but I tend to think that, yeah, it was. It's in 1997, the park sold to Six Flags, which now owns it. But this is the guy, and this is his beautiful wife who started the whole thing. And yeah, Walter Knott and Walt Disney, they were like two peas in a pod. They loved each other, and they didn't steal business from each other. I mean, when one got business, the other one's business boosted too. It was a great thing. So rest in peace, Mr. Walter and Miss Cordelia. Thank you for Knott's Berry Farm. Families everywhere love it.